How do we as psychedelic companies and as a psychedelic ecosystem work to both amplify and elevate the communities that you aim to serve, as well as ensure equity in your mission?
My perspective, and I think people will disagree with it, and that's perfectly fine because I'm still open and trying to figure it out. But it's one of those things where a lot of people express concern about the fact that psychedelic therapies are very expensive and therefore probably mostly the realm of rich white men. It's not easy to make these accessible. And so there's like this give and take about like, well, you need to build a sustainable business in order to potentially open up access, but do we further exacerbate differentials between the majority and marginalized communities? It's a give take challenge, right? And there's no perfect answer. Certainly I haven't come up with a perfect answer on this. My philosophy though, and this also goes to the concerns around profit maximization and all that kind of stuff, is that you can't really help but be touched by psychedelics. Like, it's going to open your eyes to something. And I think even if we're only serving a community of people, and don't get me wrong, it's not my ambition to do this, but even if you only serve rich white men with access to psychedelic therapies, it's going to change them in a way that I think is constructive and positive, and will create an army of people who are more open-minded and more willing to think about how we address the challenges of equity and access and all that kind of stuff. I do believe that by even serving anybody and just getting more people open-minded to psychedelic therapies and what goes as a result of psychedelic therapies is going to further the, I think, vision and mission that most people I know in the psychedelic community are trying to achieve, of which is one of like a healthier, happier, more equitable world. And I know it seems counterintuitive that creating more inequity is going to create equity, but I do genuinely believe that that's a possible outcome here. And and that makes me okay with moving forward with a structure that's still expensive and therefore is probably going to exclude people, even though that's not our desire. That's just kind of the parameters we're working with, and I still think it leads to the right outcomes.